The other day, hockey commentator Jay Fresh asked fans to give their list of their least favorite fan bases in the NHL. From this, he created the most hated fan bases for each NHL franchise and named the Toronto Maple Leafs fan base the most hated by the rest of the NHL. So, in the spirit of the Festivus season, I have decided to air my grievances with all 32 NHL fan bases by putting them on a tier list of the best and worst fan bases in the NHL. And to preface, this is just my opinion about the fans that I have interacted with personally, both in person and on the internet, over the course of my life. So, if you think that my ranking is unfair, go cry about it to somebody else. I don't give a crap. And I'm going to be putting them into one of 8 different tiers. Chosen people, chill, don't like them, but I respect them, don't like or respect them, I don't think about you at all, psychopaths, violent psychopaths, and, of course, just the worst. And starting off with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, I am putting them in the I don't think about you at all tier. Like, there are Ducks fans out there, I'm sure, but I've never seen one in the wild. At least not one who is wearing a current Anaheim Ducks jersey. Next up, we have the Arizona Coyotes, and while it would be easy to put them in the I don't think about you at all tier, I'm actually going to put them in the do not like or respect them tier. For some reason, the Coyotes fans I've interacted with always seem to have this, like, big victim complex about them, which, like, I'm sorry that your organization was one of the NHL's biggest mistakes and you've never had an ownership that was able to properly run you, but, like, you do not have to take it out on the rest of us. We're just trying to watch some fucking hockey. After them come the Boston Bruins, and no surprise, they are going in the violent psychopaths tier. Boston fans just in general are absolutely obnoxious, and the number of times I have gone to a game and felt like physically unsafe is most often amongst Boston fans and a few others. The Carolina Hurricanes, I don't like them, but I do have to respect them. You know, they're an in-division rival. They've won a cup. They're a really successful team right now. Even though I clown on the Storm Surge, I admire that they're trying to do some things to build hockey in a smaller market. I have to respect them, even though I really just don't like them. Chicago Blackhawks fans are psychopaths. They're not violent psychopaths, but they definitely think of themselves both as the victim and the main character of the NHL, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, you just lost 2 generational talents and had it replaced with Connor Bedard. Like, count your blessings. Some teams have never gotten a player of Bedard's caliber in their entire life. Colorado Avalanche fans, they're chill. I like Avs fans. They're pretty cool to hang out with. One of my buddies is an Avs fan. I've been to an Avs game. It's a really fun time. Not quite the chosen people, but I'll give it to you, Avs fans. I really like hanging out with y'all. Columbus Blue Jackets, I do not like them or respect them, but there are a good amount of Blue Jackets fans, and kind of like with the Hurricanes, they're trying to do a lot of really cool things. But y'all talk a lot of smack for a team that has only won 1 playoff series in your entire existence. Next up are the Dallas Stars, and y'all are among the chosen people. I have anointed you. You're a lot of fun to hang out with. I know people who are Stars fans. You're pretty chill about it, even though you are very successful. Really like your attitudes. And like even on that Jay Fresh survey, there were very few fan bases that hated the Dallas Stars, and they were not anybody's most hated team. So Stars, you're going up in the anointed chosen people tier. Now you would think that Red Wings fans, for all the success that their team has had, would be in the I don't like them but I respect them tier, but no, I'm putting them down in the psychopath tier as well. Again, like with the Blackhawks, you got major main character syndrome for a team that has been largely irrelevant for the last decade. Yes, your history, your hockey town, it's all very, very impressive, but y'all really need to eat more of that humble pie, because you act like you have been the big bad of the NHL for the last few years when you really haven't done anything in the last decade. Florida Panthers fans are pretty chill. They're generally pretty nice people. They enjoy hockey at, like, a very primal level, as weird as that is to say. Like, it's not a hockey market, but the people who like the Florida Panthers love hockey down there. So I really respect that, and usually they're a lot of fun to talk to, and I'm happy that they had some success last year. Edmonton Oilers fans, you all are the worst. Like, literally just the worst people. Like, I'm sorry that Connor Bedard and Leo Draisaitl have gotten zero help from your organization, but direct your ire at Ken Holland and not the rest of us, because you have 2 incredible talents, and the fact that you have done absolutely nothing with them is a shame. And look, as a Caps fan, I more than anybody understand how bad it can feel to just constantly miss the mark and have people looking down on you. But you don't need to be such a dick about it. New York Islanders fans are psychopaths, just like the Blackhawks and the Red Wings. They really think that they're still the cream of the crop in the NHL, and they get really, really upset when you don't put them among the best organizations. Like, you guys were great in the 80s, okay? That was 40 years ago. Stop acting like we should still all be paying attention to you, okay? You haven't been relevant since Tavares left. And by the way, you guys also have to really get over that. He's gone, and you've outdone him in the playoffs, all right? Take your win. LA Kings fans, I have a very vacillating relationship between. Some of them seem really, really chill. Others are really big, like, nobody pays attention to us energy. So I'm going to put them in the don't like them or respect them tier. I know you won some Stanley Cups, but, like, you guys really need to have some thicker skin. Minnesota Wild fans are generally pretty chill. They know their hockey, and it's really weird to have them and the Stars in the same tier, considering the Wild are the spiritual successors to the Stars, but I think you both have a kind of similar sensibility. Montreal Canadiens fans are violent psychopaths. Just like your bitter rivals, the Boston Bruins, you guys just do not know how to take a goddamn joke whatsoever. The only thing that's keeping you out of the worst tier is the fact that you guys at least have some humility because you haven't won anything of late. But oh my god, if the Montreal Canadiens fans win anything, they will devolve into the worst, no question. Nashville Predators also going up in the chosen people category. They are just an awesome time to hang out with. Preds fans, like Florida Panthers fans, really know their hockey, but even more so than like Avs and Panthers fans, I just think that Predators fans are just a really good time. It's a good party to go to a game in Nashville. I'd highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't gone, and I really root for the Predators to do well because when they do, their fan base is awesome to watch. The New Jersey Devils are my second favorite team. They were my favorite team growing up before I moved to DC. So they're also going in the chosen people, and I know that there are about 4 or 5 fan bases that are about to throw their hands up in exasperation and anger, but y'all can suck it. Jersey Devils fans are awesome. New York Rangers fans are the worst. The literal worst. I cannot stand New York Rangers fans. That is in part because of my Devils fandom, but they just have that terrible combination of the violence of Montreal and Boston fans, the entitlement of teams like Chicago and Edmonton, and the lack of any sort of recent success like the Islanders and the Oilers. Just all around, Rangers fans think that they are the king of the crop, the very best. We are the greatest team in the greatest city in the world. No, you're not. Shut the fuck up. I cannot stand Ranger fans. Ottawa Senators fans, I'm sorry, but I don't think about you at all. Like, I know that you're from, the birthplace of hockey and you're from the land where hockey is a birthright, but I just do not give two shits about what you have to say. Y'all have not won a Stanley Cup, but you really talk with your whole chest out like you're Montreal or Toronto. Now I'm going to shock a lot of people with Flyers fans because I actually don't like them, but I have not really had bad interactions with a lot of Flyers fans. That could be because I grew up with a lot of Flyers fans and we were pretty friendly, but even I've gone to games at the Wells Fargo Center, and I had a good time even in an opposing jersey. Now, I know that that's definitely not the case for everybody, and a lot of people would say they're probably down in the violent sociopaths. I think that's more of like an Eagles-Phillies thing. For the Flyers, when they're not like a dominant team, their fans can be kind of chill. Penguins fans are absolutely the worst visiting fans that I've ever seen, and the problem is they fucking travel everywhere. They are the least considerate, least friendly group that I've ever come across. I hate going to Penguins games, specifically because there are so many Penguins fans there, and they are all, to a man, assholes. Now, Sharks fans, y'all are going in the chosen one tier as well. I have a soft spot for Sharks fans, and it's been a rough ride for y'all, and as a fan of the team that was once affectionately known as Sharks East, I really hope the Sharks rebound and become a dominant team again, and you get to win a Stanley Cup. Hang in there, Caps West Bros. Seattle Kraken, I don't think about you at all. No offense, you're just a newer fan base. I don't really have a lot of experience interacting with Kraken fans. Most of the ones I've met seem okay, but I don't really have a big opinion one way or the other. Blues fans are chill. They're not quite in the chosen people because they got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder ever since winning that Stanley Cup, but they're amongst that group of Caps, Sharks, Blues who have been long tortured fan bases and always kind of stick together. Tampa Bay Lightning fans, I do not like them, but I do respect them. In general, the Lightning fans I've interacted with have been a little bit arrogant, but they've won a bunch of Stanley Cups, so it's earned. And also, I do appreciate that they are generally not as big of arrogant assholes as, say, Penguins fans or Blackhawks fans, so don't like them, but I do respect them. And then we get to Maple Leafs fans, aka the least liked fan base in the NHL. I'm only putting them down in the psychopaths tier. They are very, very passionate and very, very upset when you do not talk nicely about them. But in general, they also have that like slight air of woe is me, pity. Like they've had a hard go about it. Like they're lashing out in anger, but they hate themselves more than they hate others. So I take a little bit of pity on them for that. Canucks fans are violent psychopaths, though. Like the riots after they lost to Boston in 2011, the way that they are on Twitter and in comments when you insinuate that maybe their success is in part because of luck and not because they're the greatest team ever. Like, y'all need to chill out, okay? I get that you're desperate for a cup and you've got a little bit of little brother syndrome out west there, but y'all need to take it down like 20 notches. Vegas Golden Knight fans, in their brief time in the NHL, have established themselves as one of the most polarizing fan bases. I actually don't mind them that much. I don't like them, but I do respect them. I love that they have built a fan base essentially out of nothing in a non-traditional market. They do a lot of very elaborate presentations and pregame stuff. That's pretty cool. And also the fact that they were the team that we beat to get our first Stanley Cup means that I have to have a little bit more sympathy for their, shall we say, angsty inclinations. Capitals, we are the chosen people, of course. No need to debate this. We're the best fan base in the NHL. Winnipeg Jets, I honestly don't think about you at all. Like, no offense, but it's such a small market and you're out west, we don't really interact with each other. I just don't ever really have much of an impression of the Jets. Like, I like the Jets as a team, but I'll be honest, I've never met a Winnipeg Jets fan in the wild somewhere. Ditto for the Calgary Flames. Like, for a storied franchise, they just don't have much of a reach out in the East Coast. I just never meet Calgary Flames fans. They seem pretty chill, but like, I just do not have that much of an opinion on any of them. And then last but not least, Buffalo Sabres fans, y'all are the worst as well. Like, I'm sorry, everybody wants to feel bad for Buffalo and how hard it has been for the last decade of not winning anything, not making the playoffs. I fucking love it because Sabres fans, in the times that I've interacted with, are so obnoxious, so unjustly arrogant, and also so kind of violent. The only time that in my life that I've ever almost gotten into a fight at a hockey game was with a Buffalo Sabres fan. I'm just generally tired of Buffalo fans and their pity party. I couldn't give a crap. The Gulas suck, the Bills are obnoxious. Just get over yourselves. So there you have it. That is my ranking of all the NHL fan bases. Let me know why you think that my ranking of your fan base is unjustified and I'm the worst person. You can email it to imnotgonnareadthis.screwyou@gmail.com. But this might be the last video of the year with the holidays coming up, so I would just like to say Happy Festivus, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and screw the Rangers and Penguins.